posted in the PRL chat. Do a quick sound check, make sure I can hear it on the stream. Sound check, sound check.
Hi.
Quick sound check, make sure I can hear it on the stream. Sound check, sound check. Hi. Yep, we are good. You heard us both, so good to go there. Alright everyone, welcome to the PRL T1 Chinese GP. I am here with Vapor, and we are going to be guiding you through this morning. I'm really excited about it.
Yep. So who do you think's gonna take pole?
That's tough. I'm gonna go out on a limb here without seeing any laps and say we are gonna see T Widow on pole this morning. Who do you got?
You know, I gotta support one of the McLarens.
Fair enough.
The overall. But a lot of these drivers are very talented, so well, all of them. But we'll see who gets pole.
Yeah, they're all pretty quick. It looks like so far everybody that's on the track is on softs except for Will Ans, who has gone with the medium tires at the moment as he comes out in his Haas. But as I said, everyone else out on soft.
As was proven yesterday, that seems to be the strategy to win.
Yes, the two-stop is doable, but not recommended.
Well, it's more doable when more people start on the softs, which is... yeah.
But it looks like the weather is going to be nice in Shanghai for this race. In real life, it is currently 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius in Shanghai. 54 degrees Fahrenheit in Philadelphia. So beautiful weather here, beautiful weather in Shanghai in real life, and it looks like we are set for nice weather in Shanghai for this PRL race. I am currently on board with Ixidanis, who is the first one who's going to be coming around for a hot lap here. So I'll follow along with him for now.
Oh, there seems to be a yellow flag in the last sector with the Williams. Looks like I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Whoever's KDSX, I mean.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, and it looks like a Haas has come off also in Sector 1. Not sure which Haas that is at the moment.
I think it's Williams.
Oh, okay. Not sure why he's come off there. Maybe he was waiting for some people to pass, but Ixgidanis is coming around here through Sector 3 to set the first hot lap of the race. See what time he can put up. So a 1:31. Very nice.
Haytide Gaming beats that with a 1:30.
Wow, 1:30.294. That's pretty good. So we'll see how many of those times can hold as the track continues to evolve throughout this session.
Yeah.
Decent lap from JC Blackley, former Tier 2 driver who's moved up to Tier 1.
Yep. Oh, terrible, putting it into fourth.
And then immediately beaten by T. Darson.
Yeah. And Yuppie puts it in the sixth. Evie the Teves puts it in 10th with a 132.125. Oh, and the new pole by KDSX, 130.250.
Really great lap from him, wow. So let's see, let's see. I'm going to go on board with T. Widow, who is currently on his hot lap. The only driver out on the track on a hot lap right now.
That's going to work in his favor, I think, because
he's a bit off cycle for sure. Yeah, he does have a lot of space, less dirty air to worry about coming through some of these corners.
Yeah. Always good.
So T. Widow coming through Sector 3. Looks like a pretty tidy lap so far. See how he takes his final corner.
Oh, and he goes into the pits.
Wow, bailed out. Okay, I guess he wasn't happy with that. So I'm on board with Frosty right now, who is out on the mediums on his out lap. Nice looking helmet from Frosty too, I like that. Kinda looks like the French flag.
Yeah.
So he begins his hot lap now. Let's see what kind of time we can see from him. Looks like he's one of 3 drivers who currently is sitting on medium tires.
I think that the medium tire strategy is going to win them the day.
It's certainly possible. We shall see. Let's hope these weather conditions continue for the race and they don't get rain. No one's texted me to say that they're getting rain, so I think we can imagine probably going to be clear throughout.
Red Bull, the Red Bull is parked it on the pit straight and got disqualified of Ray.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
As we follow along with one Red Bull, the other is disqualified from the session for parking his car in the pit lane, so that is not ideal for him. Unfortunately, one of those things that Codemasters tries to implement to make safety measures in the game, but sometimes, as is often the case, someone is just trying to get out of the way and gets disqualified for it.
Yeah.
Again, if you're just joining us, welcome. This is Shep, aka Space Cowboy, coming to you live with Vapor. We'll be on commentary with you today.
Yeah.
So let's see what kind of time Frosty throws up. All right, 132.
132.8. It's a good lap for the medium tires, but obviously since most people went on the softs.
So we do
and Weird TDV puts in a 131.577 on mediums.
So that'll put him in 10th, but I have a feeling that's not going to hold. So it looks like, you know, to get in the top 10, you're going to have to run the soft tires, at least for the once everyone's actually done qualifying. I don't think that 10th place from Weird DV is gonna hold.
Yeah.
So let's see. It looks like Impossible Bacon just got a purple sector 1, so I'm going to stay on board with him for the moment. As Deno does the nice thing and gets out of the way for the man on his hot lap. Another purple sector there from Impossible Bacon. So let's see if he can put this together in Sector 3 and put this thing on pole. KDSX currently on pole with Haytite and Liakos making up the top 3. So 2 Williams currently in the podium positions for this qualifying session. See if this Racing Point can make this a 2-row lockout from Williams and Racing Point. Not quite, so I don't know if he had some issues in Sector 3 there or what, but so he goes 6th after it looked like he had a purple Sector 1 and 2, so not sure where he lost time there, but
it seems Williams is on his hot lap.
Got it, and so is Terrible. Terrible's coming around the back straight right now.
But Williams gets a fastest sector too.
Nice.
Let's see if he's not too full.
I think Terrible can certainly go quicker than the time he has right now. I didn't see the whole lap, but so yes, he does move up 1 position above Impossible Bacon. Then I'm going to come down to Will Ans and see what Will's able to do here. It looks like a pretty good exit in that final turn.
And he puts it in 3rd for 130.621.
Very, very tidy lap from Will Ans.
Oh, and the McLaren snatches pole with a 130.202.
Great lap from T. Darson there. Really well done. So let's see, who's on a hot lap now? Looks like one of the Alfa Romeos is... nope, that's a different color red. Oh, that's Terrible completing his cool down lap. T. Widow's on. So I'm on with Stevie the TV right now, who's on a hot lap. He's currently 15th, so he's going to want a better time than that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he just invalidated. That's really unfortunate from him. So he's going to have to come in and try to get one more hot lap in before he's got about 5 minutes left to do so. So we'll see if he can get out there and give it another shot. Alright, I'm going to come on here with Liakos, who is on his out lap. He is 5th, but he certainly has the pace to shave a bit more off here. He is only 1/1000th of a second currently behind Will Ans for 4th place. So I'm certainly curious to see how he can improve. You can see him warming the tires here, weaving back and forth.
Yeah. And it's pretty good since he has so much space between the cars in front of him, so he's got nothing but clean air.
Absolutely. The last little bit of heat in the tires before he starts this turn in. Let's see how. So that's a good exit there on the last turn to get up some speed going along this front stretch. Let's hope this T-Widow doesn't block him. He does not. Well done by T-Widow to get out of the way. That is why we turned off the pit release, or the pit assists, for that exact scenario.
Yeah.
Good awareness there from T-Widow. Good on him. Looks like he took that flat out, which that corner you pretty much need to on the softs. There's a purple sector 2 there from the Akos. So Renault off in sector 1. Nice exit to the hairpin.
And Lykosog is about to cross the line and gets past Williams.
Very well done there. So he's shaved off about 0.3 of a second. Really good lap from him.
Oh, but Williams is just coming out of the pits, so he's going to want to steal that place back.
Let's see who's on a hot lap now. Looks like T-Widow is. So I'll follow along with the Ferrari here.
I think the Yuppie is about to finish his hot lap.
Okay, let's see. Let's go to him then. Yes, he is. Good call.
And he puts it in 10th.
Nice. 1 place from him. So everyone who has set a lap now is on softs. The only person that's showing still on mediums is Tambar, who has yet to set a lap. So I'm on now with T-Widow again. Ferrari coming down the long back straightaway. Wow, Haytai.
Oh, and Haytai.
Wow. Great lap from him. Back to pole. So, fairly confident T-Widow can do better than 11th here, so let's see what kind of time he puts in as he comes around the line.
I think that was his out lap.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. My mistake. And now he's come off in sector 1, so
I think Terrible's on a hot lap.
as is Will Ans. So Terrible's a little further up the lap, so I'm going to come on board with him now. This track does create some really cool shots.
Fastest sector 2, and one of the Mercs park it on pit road. Looks like
Yuppie yet.
Has spun out in pit road, the pit straight.
It's definitely easy to do here.
Yep.
It's a tough angle if you go at it too fast.
Luckily, he didn't get disqualified.
So the qualifying session is over for everyone who's not currently on a hot lap, and Terrible bails out of his lap there. Will Ans has come off. Young Ants races to the line here. Let's see if he can improve on 7th. He does not.
Oh, I think Ella T. Darson is on a hot lap.
Alright, on board with him.
That's the sector 2, but I don't know if that's legit. Seems
Yeah,
everyone's getting that.
I'm starting to wonder. Everyone has that.
Hmm.
So we'll see. Haytite currently about a 10th and a half ahead of everyone else for pole, so let's see if that holds once T. Darson completes this hot lap.
He seemed to have backed off.
Yeah, he does. He does seem to have slowed down, so maybe he's bailing out of this lap.
Well, it
wow.
looks like the Renault...
Virt TV out of nowhere throws it on pole by 1/1000th of a second. Outstanding stuff.
He's probably thinking this. Oh.
So I'm on with Deneau here, is coming around. The final, and he bails out as well.
Oh, and it seems.
So it's looking like the session is going to end with the current order that we have. I don't think there's anybody still on a lap.
I think a Haas is, but which Haas?
So Will Ans is in the pits, and Stevie the TV is invalidated, so it looks like this will be off final order. It says that T Widow is on the out lap, but I don't think it's going to let him actually start another lap here, so I think this will be the final order.
I doubt it would.
No, I mean, rules-wise it shouldn't, so I'm not sure why it hasn't ended the session yet, but that's Codemasters, I guess. So, good stuff. Virt DV goes first by 1/1000th of a second over Haytite. The second row, T. Darson, KDSX.
Oh, they let him start a lap for some reason.
That's strange.
Although there's only 1 second. Why are there AI now?
I do not know.
Huh.
Codemaster's gonna code.
Not well, but they will code.
This is really strange.
Yeah, and they're letting T Widow finish his lap. I guess T Widow has the last lap.
I mean, and the session's been stuck on 1 second for like 2 minutes now. This is the strangest thing. And now we have Valtteri Bottas and Antonio Giovinazzi in the in the lobby, apparently.
Yeah.
Blackley leaves the session. I'm a little confused if we have a lobby glitch or what here. Impossible Bacon leaves the session. Are you seeing this too?
Yeah, I'm seeing this. Young Gantz, I'm not gonna try. He leaves the session. The Yuppie left.
So let me check the chat to see if there's some sort of issue here.
Yeah. I think there is, because it says T Widow's again on an outlap. Oh.
Everyone leave the lobby. Okay, lobby bugged.
Oh, gotcha. So we're making a new lobby, yeah?
Yes.
Oh. Unfortunate for Via. He took pole by such a slim margin.
think I'll make another cup of coffee while this is happening.
Yeah.
That's wild. So that should change, you know, some strategy. The soft hard, or if you're bold enough, maybe soft medium is probably easier now because you're not going to have soft tires that have an out lap, a hot lap, and an in lap on them. They'll just be straight fresh tires.
Oh, we're just going straight to the race?
I believe so, yeah. I think they're going to use the order that they qualified in since we got the whole session in. So I think we'll be jumping straight in the race, and Terrible is going to do a custom grid order to put everyone where they finished.
Yeah.
But that definitely changes the tire strategy.
Yeah. Sure will make it interesting. But there's also is the factor of that since it's a new session, we don't know if it'll be wet or not.
True, but I think that they will have looked ahead of time if it was going to be wet or dry. And if it was set to be wet, I have to imagine that Terrible will make this an intentionally dry session, not dynamic. No reason to completely change it that much when I think I think that's what he'll do. That's what I would have done. Terrible and I usually are on the same page about these kind of things, so I have a feeling that's what he'll do. He's not going to
this happened to us
force a dry session. Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah. Why take the chance on a wet race when we were already planning for a dry?
Yeah.
Dace is saying one-shot quali. That would be interesting, Dace, but I have a feeling that is not what Terrible will go for. I think he's just going to use the results that we already have. Thank you to everyone who's sticking with us through this break period here. This is Codemasters being Codemasters, where quali sessions don't end and we randomly have AI.
Yeah, this is Codemasters telling you to get a coffee and breakfast, I guess.
Exactly. All right. Did you just get the invite? I'll send you one if not.
Thank you.
Can you actually send one back to me? I actually have a decent amount of people not with names.
Okay. Just let me load in.
Okay. Makes commentary hard when you can't see people's names.
Yeah. And that car.
Yeah, I'll just have to refer to them by the manufacturer, I suppose.
Yeah. McLaren 1 and 2. Let's see.
Dace saying that NRL did a one-shot quali once in this example, and it was his only pole position. Hey, gotta take what you can get, Dace. Let's see. Yay! No glitch this time.
Eh.
It's alright, my only pole of the year was in the Custom Constructors Championship last week, and I bended on the formation lap, so that was cool. Really handled that well.
I think my only pole ever was in Netherlands of last season.
Did you win the race?
No, I came second to Steinmine because I spun it.
Gotcha. Second's not bad. You've got more wins than
Yeah.
I do. I'm still at 0 wins on the career, so. I'm
So
thinking
am
about.
I have no wins.
You haven't won?
No.
Oh, I thought you had. I guess it was all those shoeies I assumed you had.
Nope.
Grak asks if career mode count. Career mode can count in your own head. I have plenty of wins on career mode against 90 AI, but not bragging about those. Unfortunately, I'll be gone for Zandvoort next week, which I really like that track, so I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah. It's one of those really good tracks.
Feels like a go-kart track. You just whip it around there.
Yeah. Let's just say I was very happy to miss Vietnam.
I actually, I was pretty bummed about my result yesterday, to be honest. I was running well, staying in the top 6-7 area, trying to keep up with Spoolin, and then unfortunately he spun in front of me and I couldn't avoid him, so I smashed my front wing and had to pit again, so that put me down to like 16th.
Oh yeah, right. That's why I passed you. You got past me.
Yeah, it was not ideal.
Mine wasn't ideal either. I was in the final corner. I was racing side by side with a Renault, I think, and I don't think he expected me to be there. So,
yikes!
Because I went around the outside of the hairpin, so I got the better exit. He didn't expect me to be there, I think, so we collided and I spun, but it's fine.
Unfortunate. Hey, I did the rare soft, hard, medium China strategy. Really, only because I had to replace the front wing.
Yeah.
Terrible says he's going to wave his magic wand and the game will magically set the order. Wingardium Leviosa.
Lamgardium, please work Osa.
Seriously. So they are going to go with dry weather since that was the weather that they were set for the race, so that's good. Everyone will be on the same strategy and the same setup, so that's good.
Yeah. We have to wait for another driver, right? Or
no, I think 18 is the number that was there. Because at the end, that's why Giovinazzi and Bottas joined.
Oh yeah, right.
Rusty from 18th to 8th yesterday. That's great stuff, Rusty. Well done. I've been saying all season, Rusty is my, well, and all last season, Rusty's like the person that I like aim for because I feel like we're similar pace. So I'm like, all right, if I can beat Rusty, then I had a good week. Plus he's in the McLaren, I'm in the Ferrari, so it just works, you know. Like I'm not aiming to beat Nero every week because that's just not realistic. But if I can stay with Rusty, then I feel pretty good about it. But he definitely got a better result than me yesterday. Him in 8th and me in 16th, I think.
I just kind of aim to not bin it and see where I head up. And because it seems always at the beginning of the season that like I just bin it.
Yeah, you really turned it on like in the probably like second 2/3 of the year last year.
Yeah, like I think my good races started at the Netherlands, and I don't know when they ended, but they did end.
They did, yeah. I do remember the last few races you struggled a little bit.
Yeah. This is probably the tracks I'm good at. I'm not really great at the ending tracks.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to be back here racing in 10 seconds as everyone is readying up. We will go back to Shanghai and get going for you. We will be skipping qualifying, going straight to and using the custom grid option and Terrible has put in where everyone finished. So, as I said, we will have a dry race. Thank you for the 11 or 12 of you that stuck with us through this break. Will Ansley saying, all my homies hate Cody's. That is accurate. Thanks for that, fam. Will loves when I say fam and bruv, so I'm gonna say it a few times on the chat for Will when he watches this back.
I mean, they say they're code masters, but I mean,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when EA fully takes over. Probably microtransactions.
I mean, probably gotta have to buy the Merc car.
Probably. When you're developing your team on career mode on the my team, you want to upgrade. You actually have to pay for microtransactions.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, honestly, it'd probably be cheaper to get a really good PC and start doing iRacing or some crap.
Seriously, I wish it was if iRacing was actually had the F1 licensing. That might be tempting, but
yeah, I think Assetto Corsa has the Ferrari licensing.
okay.
People just make mods, so.
All right, fam. Here we are. We're back in Shanghai. The game is loading up for the formation lap. We will wait here, and as soon as they come on board, we will join, and we should have a good one here. We're pretty excited about this. The pole lap was only 1/1000th second of a second faster than second place, so Viert DV and Haytite should have a really good battle. Liakos put in a good lap, as did T Darson, KDSX. Should be a fun time for a Sunday afternoon or evening, or I guess morning if you're on the West Coast.
Yep. Morning.
Rusty asked if we're going to have a clean turn one. I guess that probably depends on what you mean by clean. We probably have some side pods hitting other side pods, tires hitting tires. Yeah, probably. Hopefully no one's going to get punted. These guys are pretty experienced drivers, so let's hope no dive bombs.
Yep.
If anybody from Tier 1 is watching this, make sure if you're in the top 10, you are on soft tires. Yes, no 3 wides, Rusty. This is not Talladega. We will not be going 3 wide.
Yep. That saves for the bank track.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like Zandvoort. Not giving any ideas, just implying that's possible.
All right, so we are here now, actually working. So formation lap gets going. Everyone can warm up their tires.
looks like the predicted stop strategy is either medium to hards or soft, medium, medium.
Yeah, I think we're going to see most people do a one-stop, especially given that they have completely unworn tires now.
Yeah. But it's shaving it pretty close if you go on the hards. From the softs.
Yeah.
Since this track is so hard on the tires.
Yeah, it's doable. Before the race, for Tier 2, Grumpy and I, who is my Ferrari teammate, were talking, and he calculated that the two-stop strategy is about 7 seconds slower, but that kind of depends on how well you can actually run on the hard tires.
Yeah. I think it was either last season Yuppie or NAFTA in China ran soft to hards, and it was at like 90% the tires.
Yeah, that was my plan for yesterday before I had to go in and replace my wing, but who knows if it would have worked or not.
Yeah. Maybe the broken wing was your saving grace from a puncture.
Could have been. So luckily everyone got the menu, top 10 all on softs, and from terrible in 11th down to 18th, all on mediums. Also, I just realized I lied. I started on mediums yesterday, not softs. So that's why I wouldn't have had a puncture. All right, so we are reforming the grid here now. Everyone coming up to the line. Luckily, seems to be no issues yet. There's the pit strategy again by AWS.
And for some reason, it says Williams is in first.
Yeah, glitch. Here we go. 5 lights. Lights out. Away we go. Hopefully a clean first corner here. Oh, definitely not. Massive accident. Definitely. Looks like that was Deneau. Wow. Immediate VSC. And Blackley gets a 5-second penalty for collision. Steve the TV, 5-second penalty for collision with Igzy Donis. So we already have 4 penalties on the board. That was a wild start.
I may not have been so clean as we hoped.
No, certainly not. I mean, VSC straight out of the gate. Wow. So it looks like Deneau was the biggest loser there, as his front wing is probably completely, yes it is, it's completely gone. So he's going to have to get into the pits to get a repair there as he lets the other cars by, because he's just not going to be able to take those corners quickly at all. So he is already down 13 places from the start because of that major accident coming into turn 1.
Yeah.
4 penalties already on the board for drivers who made contact.
What I saw of the accident, I think one of the Williams, I think, lagged into him.
That's unfortunate.
Which caused, yeah. So it's not really something that can be fixed. But,
right.
Yeah. KDSX, I think that also has a broken front wing, so he goes into the pits, as well as Deneau.
We also have the leaderboard glitching here saying that Terrible and Ray are first and second, which is not the case. Virt DV and Haytite are still 1-2, as you can see in my screen.
Yep.
Codemaster's taking over once again.
Yep, as me being on VOW puts me to KDSX. And
so Liakos is randomly ghosted.
And Williams is apparently behind Dano and is in last. She's not.
Yeah, this is quite strange.
I honestly think with every update, this game just gets more and more broken.
It does seem that way. So Williams,
they fix one thing, make two problems.
Exactly. Will the Thrill here is actually in 4th, maybe maybe 5th. He's behind T. Darson, who the game says is in 3rd. But I believe Liakos is actually in 3rd. T. Darson, I think, should be 4th. And Williams should be 5th, not 18th, where the game is currently showing him.
This makes my brain hurt.
Yeah, same. So, right. It says T. Darson is a lap behind already, which is clearly not the case.
And it's his that, maybe he's a second behind that. Did it fix itself?
No, not quite, because it still says T. Darson's lap down. And Liakos is still ghosted.
Oh, yeah.
Will-Ann's still last. So it's saying Young Ants is 3rd when he's clearly behind Liakos, T. Darson, and Will-Ann's.
And what the hell's happening with that Renault? That Renault went to the pits, but it looked like they were lagging on and off the track.
Huh. Strange.
Jeez.
This is bizarre. We'll have to see how these guys handle it, because some of these guys that are ghosted could be passed by guys that aren't ghosted, and, you know, we'll have to see how they handle it.
They aren't ghosted on their screen, but it's weird, because one time, we're behind safety car in tier 2, I believe. The guy in front of me ghosted, and they told me to pass him, so I tried to pass because I thought he disconnected, but it just ended up making me hit him, but I didn't take any damage because he was ghosted.
Oh gosh, there was just a big wreck, it looked like, in turn 1, where some of the cars that had been ghosted started coming together, because they got unghosted, and now they're all going straight again, and now they're unghosted. And so they're making contact because they thought they were still ghosted.
Oh, holy Christ. The Williams and the...
They're like inside of each other. I have no idea what's going on at this point.
Codemasters needs to fix their game, is what's happening.
Wow. Crap. 3 cars right on top of each other. I've never seen that before. I wonder what the game says the interval for that is.
Yeah. Oh, it's close racing, not...
Extremely close racing.
You know.
Alright, so I'm gonna... Virt DV is out front by about 2 seconds now on Haytite. He is not being affected by the glitches like some of the guys in the 3 through 5 range are. We have quite a lot of people on the back straightaway right now. Everybody's still pretty bunched up.
I think T-Widow is actually in 5th place.
Oh, I think he has to be lower than that because he's behind Liakos. And Liakos, it says, is in 17th, which is not true.
Yeah.
And he's behind Will-Ann's as well, so the whole thing's glitched.
Oh, and this is hurting my brain.
Definitely makes it more difficult to commentate on.
Yeah, and harder to find the battles because of
all the intervals were off. Yeah.
Oh, and Black Lee's making a move on, I think, Terrible or Widow, or
yeah, that was Terrible, I believe. Terrible able to stay in front for the time being, though. Blackley...
Let's stay on this, because it's not confusing.
Yeah, it's less confusing, and they're both not ghosted, which is good. Yeah. JG Fishing is in the chat, headed back from his daughter's competition, so he's done traveling for a while. I think he'll be back to racing with us next week. We'll be happy to have Joe in his Mercedes once again in Tier 2.
I've noticed he doesn't go for qualifying. Is that the strategy call, or...?
Yeah, Blackley has to swerve to avoid taking out Terrible there. That he would have punted him really hard, but he caught some grass, having to avoid it. Late braking by Blackley cost him about half a second. Yeah, Joe typically doesn't go for qualifying. I think he's more comfortable starting in the back of the field, where he is not worried about hitting anyone else. He's still a relatively new player, just starting at Monaco last season. So yeah, it's an intentional thing from him. Not really a strategy call, more just a comfort for him call as a newer player.
Yeah. And looks like one of the racing points, I'm thinking possible they can either spun it or went to the pits.
Yeah, I think he spun it. I'm on with T-Widow now, as he's only half a second behind Young Ants, chasing him through the Kirby section of Sector 2. See if he can get a good exit. Get the DRS. I guess though. So T-Widow will get the DRS, but Young Ants will not.
And looks like
a little bit of a lockup there. Keep getting a yellow flag through Sector 3, but I'm not sure why. There's no one off there.
I think it's a glitch.
Once again.
Like most of Codemasters things. And one of the McLarens going to the pits. T. Darson. I wonder what is happening with them.
Yeah, he's not in the pits. It doesn't look like anybody's in the pits. So I think we're just...
What the hell is happening with them?
Okay. So Virt DV did pit. He is now on the hards. So after 6 laps, Virt DV comes in for the hards. Seems a bit early. I think you can usually get 7 to 8 laps out of the softs.
Yeah.
Even with qualifying wear, but I guess he is going for the undercut here. It's going to put him in a bit of traffic, as he's now in 10th, if this game is actually at all right. But it's probably not, because it still says Will Ans is last, which we know he is not.
Yeah.
Let's see where Will Ans actually is now. So Will Ans, Liakos, T. Darson still says 16th, 17th, and 18th. I believe they're probably closer to the top 5. Having a glitchy lobby here today.
Yeah. I don't know whether T. Darson was in the pits or not, because for me he was glitching in and out onto pit road and onto the straightaway and onto pit road. Oh, and Frosty goes by, letting Weird DTV by.
So we got most of the race leaders coming to the pits now. So they get 7 full laps in on the softs before they go to the hards, which is probably a little bit better. Rusty in the chat saying that Virt DV is probably going to get a puncture for going for that many laps on the hards. We will wait and see if that's the case. So Terrible takes over the race lead, I believe. Yes, he does, as he started on the medium. So all of the top 10 has now come in to replace the softs with the hards, and the 11th place people who started on mediums have assumed the lead as a result. We'll see how quickly or how long that lasts before they start to come in. Probably I would imagine closer to lap 12, 13, somewhere around there, before they come in for the hards.
Terrible seems to be holding a pretty strong lead against JC Blackley, as he's still pulling away.
Yeah, Terrible definitely was one to watch for me this week because he's not the fastest over one lap, but he does have really good racecraft. Rarely makes mistakes, usually makes the right strategy call, and it usually ends up in him getting a much better position than he started with.
He also has much better overtake levels than JC Blackley.
That's accurate. I was on board with Ray there for a second, who was closing in on Virt TV after the back straight, but had to swerve off the road to avoid punting him, which seems to be a trend in that hairpin. So now I'm on with Virt TV as he chases Exgidanis.
I'll just let you pronounce the ones I don't know how to pronounce, because
I'm doing the best I
last year
can.
in China I made a different mistake that I'm kind of during commentary that I'm kind of known for.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Virt DV, though, chasing Exgidanis through Sector 2 right now. He goes for a move on the inside. Is he going to leave him room? Didn't quite get done on that one, so now he's on the outside as they go through the next turn. Not enough, but I have to imagine going into Sector 3 with the DRS, he can probably make it work.
Considering, well, actually, yes, ERS levels are in Idanos' level. I mean,
he's not using it here on the back straight, though, so I think he's going to concede the position as Virt DV does get it done there. Slight lockup on the hairpin, but he makes it work.
Oh, and a big gap was built between the Yuppie and JC Blackley as Stevie the TV gets past them.
Nice move there by Stevie. I'm now on board with JC Blackley. He has closed the gap to Terrible down to about 0.6 of a second. Both drivers here on the medium tires.
And Stevie's now apparently in 14th and ghosted.
Strange.
This game works in weird ways.
And by weird ways, you mean it doesn't really work.
Yep.
A little wide there from Blackley. I don't know if he's going to get another penalty for that. I'm sure he got a warning. So Stevie the TV now it corrects and moves him back up to third. Still not really sure what the actual leaderboard is, although I do know that Terrible and JC Blackley are 1-2. But I'm not sure how...
I think first and second are really the only not-broken positions.
Yeah, I think Will Ans could be accurate. Same with T. Darson and Leo. I mean, not accurate. They could be, like, up in second, third area. But tough to say. It says they're, like, 3 laps down, but they're...
It looks like they're in that pack going down the back straight.
Yeah.
He's around the racing points.
Side by side for Hey Titan Ray here, going on the last turn. Side by side, they left each other space. Ray's going to try to take the move back. Going into this weaving turn 1. Long turn. Well handled by both of them, though. Both drivers giving each other room. T. Darson gets a penalty for corner cutting. DV now chasing the Yuppie for third place. We're consistently seeing in the hairpin on Sector 3 and in Turn 1 a random yellow flag. I think that's the game whenever a ghosted driver comes through the sector.
Yeah. As Via takes a look at the inside of Yuppie, but decides better of it, as he's probably going to go for a move down the DRS straight.
So the Yuppie gets by Stevie the TV. Nice move there from Yuppie. But Stevie the TV is going to try to take it back. Oh, and he goes into the wall. Oh, really unfortunate stuff for him there.
Oh, and that's a broken front wing for him.
Ah, you hate to see that. So he's going to lose a lot of positions there. Yeah, he was, and now he's going to have to come to the pits.
Wow. He doesn't have to do... he's out.
Oh, so I went away from him. What happened? Did he hit the wall in the pits?
Yeah, he went to the wall in the pits.
Wow.
And now, for some reason, he's in the middle of the track.
That's very strange.
This game... And for some reason, they aren't changing the tires on... Oh, he had a 5-second. Never mind.
So Veer TV does get by Yuppie while we were wondering what was happening with the Haas there. That puts Veer TV up into third. Yes, welcome Monkey Pill. Glad you tuned in. The lobby is screwed, as sometimes is the case. We had trouble in qualifying. Now we're having trouble with the race. It's really annoying, but what can you do? So Terrible's lead is up to 1.4 seconds, which puts Blackley out of DRS range, and Blackley also has a time penalty. We're seeing yellow flags across all sectors right now, half of which we don't know are legitimate.
The one in the... right before that long, I don't know, flat out.
Stevie the TV, sorry to interrupt. Stevie the TV looks like left the session. It just gave him fastest lap of the race, but it says he left the session.
Broken.
Yes, it is. I don't know what's happening. Look at that. I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, he DNF'd, so his tire's technically not attached, but it's still getting him to dry.
And he's not in the session, so he's ghosted. Wild stuff here in T1 today.
This is going to be a spectacle to watch.
It's going to be a spectacle to steward the race as well. So I'm on board with Will Ans, who says is 18th, but he's actually chasing T-Widow for 7th. No, 8th, because Liakos is in front of T-Widow. So Liakos is actually 7th, T-Widow is 8th, and Will Ans is 9th. But both Will Ans and Liakos are ghosted at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see. These three have been battling the whole time. For whatever reason, the game is now telling us that the pit window is open for the hard tires, which was actually on lap 6 through 8, and we are on lap 13. No idea why the game is telling us that, but not really sure why the game is doing anything that's happening right now, so here we are.
And I think a Ferrari's getting past the DNF Stevie the TV. I don't know which Ferrari. I think Terrible.
Probably Terrible, yeah.
Yeah. Terrible must be wondering what the hell is happening.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
Terrible goes into the pits.
Pure confusion. Yep. So lap 13, about what I would have expected, gets you to almost half the race on the mediums, and then you can go for the hards. So yes, thank you AWS for now telling us it is time to go for the hards if you started on the mediums. Lovely stuff. Appreciate that. So Terrible will surrender the lead to Veer DV, who is now first, followed by Haytide, who is second.
Yeah. I don't know who's... Terrible has great pace at this track and fresher tires than Via, so... I'm thinking Terrible might come out with this.
It's certainly possible. It still says that Will Ans is on soft, so I don't know if Will's going for the two-stop strategy or if the lobby is messed up.
Still on soft.
He's on 5-lap old soft, so have to imagine he's going for a two-stopper here.
This whole lobby is confusing me.
Yeah, me too. So who hasn't stopped yet? The Yuppie is not stopped yet, who's the game says is currently in third. It says Steve the TV who hasn't stopped, but we know that's not really relevant because he is out of this session after a DNF.
I mean, but somehow his car's still going.
His car is still going with a tire hanging off of it.
I guess he took the book out of Lewis Hamilton's book.
Thank you for everyone who's being patient with us here this session. As you can tell, we're doing our best with whatever strange information this game is giving us at the moment. Right now we currently have Tambar fighting with a ghosted T. Darson. It says this is a battle for somewhere between 15th and 17th place. We don't know if that's at all true. If one of these, I mean, for all I know, T. Darson could be a whole lap ahead of Tambar. I really don't know. This is what we're dealing with today. So now on with Will Ans, who's still chasing T-Widow and Liakos. I think the reality here, the game says that T-Widow is 4th, but I think Liakos is 4th, T-Widow is 5th, and Will Ans is 6th. That would make sense given their relative pace, and just using context clues from T-Widow. Yes, Monkey Pill, Stevie the TV is driving around with a wheel hanging off. He's not in the session, but his car is still going around thanks to the AI, I guess. This is going to be interesting for the stewards to pick through.
No, I don't know what you guys are talking about Codemaster's game being broken.
This game's obviously flawless.
You know, just little things like a guy with a wheel hanging off.
Very, very small stuff.
Yeah, just small stuff. Yeah.
So T-Widow right on the gearbox of Liakos and Impossible Bacon. As they come through Sector 3.
Gets the DRS, but so does Liakos.
So we're going to have a lot to sort through after this race to figure out who actually finished where. I was hoping the lobby would unglitch itself before this race ends, but I'd love to... Oh, wow! And Impossible Bacon bins it! Oh, man! He is out of the session. He was in... He was in place for a podium, and now he is completely out of the session.
I mean, he's not driving.
So we have a VSC here for a massive wreck by Impossible Bacon. Really unfortunate for the Racing Point because he was having a great day. And he was actually 3rd, I believe, legitimately, not due to glitches.
Yeah, and
oh no! Oh no! The leader gets a penalty, drive-through penalty for our leader for speeding under safety car.
So that makes Hate Tai Gaming our effective leader.
Yes, it does. Wow. Huge mistake there from Virt TV.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to be kicking himself for that.
I think Liakos is now effectively 2nd, and T-Widow is effectively 3rd.
Yes, with Will Ans behind them, I think. Wow.
The only... Oh crap, there's a Haas that just drove into nowhere.
I missed that. I was reading the comment from Bert Cocaine who said, I'm just saying, dragging a car.
Look how Williams just went through the whole paddock to go into his pit lane. Huh. And now he's not in his pit lane.
Yeah, it says he's still on the track for me.
It says... Oh, and Tambar spun.
Yes, he did. In Sector 3, it looks like he doesn't have damage, though, so he should be fine to just keep on going. Game saying that Will Ans is 3 laps down. We know that's not the case.
And apparently he's behind T. Darson, which the game says is 5 laps down.
Which makes none of the sense.
So not, well. This is interesting, to say the least.
I honestly have no idea how the stewards are even going to sort through all this. So Veer TV comes into service drive-through penalty, which will cede the lead to Haytite Gaming. I believe T-Widow will also have plenty of time to get past him, as will Liakos, Young Ants. We'll see where Veer TV comes out of the pits. Really, really frustrating mental error there for him for speeding under virtual safety car. If you were just joining us... Oh, Terrible goes by him too. So Terrible is, according to the game, in 4th place, probably closer to the 6th, depending on how many people were able to count in front of him. So I'm seeing...
I think he's in 5th because Liakos is
yeah, that sounds right. That does sound right.
Who's in 2nd. And then Young Ants... no, wait. Maybe you're right, because I think Williams is behind T-Widow.
Yeah, this is an absolute cluster. So Veer TV, our former race leader, now in 5th place after drive-through under safety car.
But I think closer to 7th.
7th, okay. Right, exactly. Who knows with this thing at this point?
No one knows.
So I'm going to follow...
Let's hope the ending result is actually fixed.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's just hope they make the commentator's job hard. As T. Little locks up behind... and Heitai is in the pits. So that makes Liakos effectively first until... But T-Widow's making a move.
He's going side by side, but they're ghosted, so it's not really even side by side.
Oh! But not really ghosted. It just showed it was ghosted, so I guess T-Widow accidentally did
Oh my gosh. That was wild.
Yeah.
These drivers were driving inside of each other because they were ghosted, and then they weren't ghosted. So Liakos drops way down the order after a spin there. Looks like he probably will have some end plate damage on his front wing. Wow. Absolutely gutting for him.
I don't know if that's a racing incident or not, because
it's honestly
he was ghosted until the last minute.
Wow.
I think the top 3 is currently never mind. So Williams, I believe, is behind T-Widow. He is 2nd. And then 3rd is Young Gantz, and then 4th is Terrible.
That looks right. Veer TV now is chasing Terrible. Half a second between the two at the moment. It looks like Haytite is about to go for a move on JC Blackley. Both using their ERS, but Haytite having DRS is going to go by him on the inside down the long back straightaway. Gets the move done. See if he can make it work through the exit. He does. Well done by him.
JC Blackley will have DRS on the next one, but Haytai has much more ERS than him, so we'll see.
Yeah, strategic employment of the ERS here is really crucial, especially when your opponent has the DRS. So I'm on board with Veer DV here still as he's chasing Terrible. About a second between the two at the moment.
Yeah.
Worth keeping in mind also, Young Ants does have a penalty, so that will probably put him back at least 2 places if the margin between these drivers stays the same.
Okay. He has a 3-second penalty. So yeah, he is
That would
effectively
like fifth.
Yeah.
Ish. Ish, depending on where the game decides people are.
Yeah, you know, in the next second, he could be last.
Yeah, true.
Oh, and... really nice.
The game still thinks that Liakos, T. Darson, Tambar, and Willans are behind Impossible Bacon, who DNF'd like 5 laps ago.
And they still think Stevie the TV is
Is he still driving around with one wheel?
Yep.
Yep,
and
he is.
They had a pit stop, so now he's on hard tires.
He's on a brand new hard tire that's not attached. Amazing.
The team just sets about. I guess money's tight in Haas.
Veer TV did go for a move down the inside of Terrible there, but couldn't get it done, as Terrible is able to retain the position going through Sector 2.
Terrible is slowly clawing at young Gap's gap between him. Looks like he will have DRS on this next straight, as well as with EV.
Be interesting to see how this continues to develop, because Veer TV is on 13-lap-old hards, whereas Terrible's hards are only 6 laps old. So, it looks like Terrible's going for a move on Young Ants. Oh,
and he makes it stick.
Nice, very well done. And Young Ants bails out to go to the pits. So Young Ants gets 12 laps out of those medium tires, going for the 2-stop strategy. I'm not sure that was the move. He was already committed to it, obviously, at this point, but that's going to put him well down the order. And the soft tires that he's going to go on now, I'm not sure he's going to get enough out of them to make up these positions.
So currently, the top 4 is Ferrari-powered cars, as Williams is in second.
Okay, exactly. Ooh, side by side.
Let's see who gets the better exit. Looks like Terrible, since Via went on the curb. This is gonna be interesting how it plays out.
This is our closest battle, looks like, on the track right now. So I'm gonna stay here for a little while.
Yeah, it could not be, because the game broke, but...
For all we know, slight lock up there by Veer TV. The exit on this is so important because it sets you up for the entire pace you have going into this long back straightaway.
Yeah.
A bad exit can completely nullify your DRS.
Yeah. You don't get a great exit and start cutting away the time. Firstly, right from the exit of that corner, you're not making up time. As Weird DB gets a little loose on that exit corner.
Definitely a little loose. Looks like he's starting to feel those tires a little bit. Veer TV there with a time penalty as well. Wow. So that is huge. 2 very unfortunate mistakes for him. The drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, and then I believe that was an exceeding track limits penalty there, which would have been his 3rd time doing that. So he will be 3 seconds slower, which right now would put him behind Haytite, who is in 5th, even though the screen says 4th.
Yeah. So all Terrible really needs to worry about now is catching up to
Will Ans.
Yeah, and try and making it a Ferrari 1-2, which will be the first time we see that in a long time.
Certainly won't be seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
Even the tire numbers are glitched. It says that Will Ans only has 2 laps on the hards, but that he's also only made 1 stop. So that doesn't seem physically possible.
Must have really made those mediums last, huh?
Yeah. 20 lap mediums? Don't think so.
Oh, and Stevie the TV just got slapped in the face by his tire. Great.
Codemaster's gonna Codemaster.
This makes sense.
You can even hear that engine braking there from Beard TV, using the downshift to slow the car even faster. Despite having much older tires, he is keeping pace with Terrible, but unfortunately I think that lack of grip is probably what caused him to exceed the track limits, as it looked like his back end just kind of slid out there and went over the white line, causing the penalty. But at this point, yeah. I think especially around these high-speed turns, the ones that you could take full out, he's going to be losing time there because he's going to have to let off a little bit. These hard tires don't really have enough grip to take the some of those turns at full speed. And with 7 lap older hards than Terrible, he's going to have to let off the ignition a little bit more.
Yeah. But Williams is doing extremely well with his however old hard tires. Maybe 12 laps. Wait, no, that's something different. Tire. Apparently 3 lap mediums. Okay, that's...
Okay, I was saying hards, but...
Hards, whatever.
Who knows?
I'm sorry. Oh, and finally, Liaka passes Impossible Bacon.
The game says Liakos is 7 laps down, but we know that is not accurate.
Not accurate at all.
So I'm gonna ask you, Vapor, to turn. Are we able to record as well as broadcast? So like I'm broadcasting, so you could record it, right? I want to make sure that as we approach the final laps, we get a shot of where everyone actually is on the track compared to everyone else. So when the stewards are going through it, they can take a look at it.
My account's also linked to PRL.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll just record on my phone.
Okay, I'll just, if you could do that, and I'm going to make sure we try to go through and see where everyone is in comparison to the closest car, so we can figure out who's actually...
I'll wait till the final 2 laps to save the story going on.
Yeah, that's fine. So the top 5 right now are all, within striking distance of each other realistically. Looks like the gap from Will Ans to T Widow is probably a second. It's hard to say because the game thinks he's 18th, so I'm just guessing. Looks like that's about a second, and then probably about a second and a half to from Terrible to Will Ans, and then Veer TV is going for a move on the outside of him. Through turn 1, so this will be interesting. It's gonna be need patience from both drivers and a bit of space.
Oh, and he backs off.
Yeah, probably the right move there.
Definitely the right move. And there's this yellow flag everywhere. Something happened.
Yeah, I just saw that Tambar was glitching onto the start-finish line, so not sure if that's why.
That's been happening the whole race.
Oh, great.
I've seen that from the McLaren stuff. It's interesting.
This might be the closest top 5 battle we've had all year, though. All the top 5 pretty much within striking distance of each other. Yeah, it really is too bad.
Too bad we're having trouble enjoying it because I don't know where everyone is. There's just I just saw a random hard tire in the middle of the road.
It must have been Stevie the TV that hit him in the face.
Oh, no, yeah, Stevie the TV, if you go to his car, It just doesn't have a tire anymore.
I was joking when I said that, but oh my gosh, we got basically 3 wide going through the hairpin between VerTV, Terrible, and Haytite. Oh, gave him the squeeze a little bit there.
T-Widow is first. Willian second.
They're side by side again going through turn 1. VerTV gets a bit of the inside, but he's going to be on the out. Oh, contact. Contact right there. Not catastrophic for either of them, though.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Alright. Chambar, I think, is in 8th now.
Okay.
The Young Ants is in 9th. Ray is 11th.
Oh, spin from Young Ants. Spin wall. He will not be out of the race. See where he actually was, and he spun. So doesn't look like there's damage there, but he does definitely lose some track position. And those tires will be overheating. Oh, he spins again. He spins again. Hits the wall. Can't tell what kind of damage he has, but he is struggling with those tires, which are probably very hot. And he retires. Really unfortunate stuff there. Liakos also picks up a 3-second time penalty. Haytite going for a move on Terrible. Gets it done. Wow. Gets it. Up into second now.
Oh, but Terrible is coming back at him. Oh, and Terrible moves to the inside.
All 3 of these drivers right on top of each other going into turn 1. Great stuff from these 3.
I think...
a little bit of contact! A little bit of contact!
I think they're good.
Wow.
Still going side by side.
Haytite's
similar ERS.
Haytite's tire getting a little bit of a terrible side pod there.
Yeah. This kind of shows you Terrible's skill at this track, because Haytite has the tire advantage.
He does, and also shows how respectful some of these guys towards the top of Tier 1 are, that they're able to battle each other and not cause any major issues.
Yeah.
So we're coming down here to the finish, and it looks like the order, unless there's anything major in this last turn, is going to be T-Widow, followed by Will Ans, and then Terrible taking the 3rd spot on the podium, followed by Haytite.
But we'll see if it fixes itself once they all cross the line. I hope it does.
I hope it does, but I don't think it's going to, unfortunately.
So this is our not really order.
So it does look like Tambar finished right ahead of JC Blackley.
It says Williams is still going.
Yes, it does.
Oh God, please tell me it's going to end.
The 2 Red Bulls side by side. One of them just needs to give up there and take one for the team. Going into the last turn side by side with your teammate, probably not the best move.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Yuppie took the position because Frosty had a penalty. So, I don't know where, like... Oh, this is so confusing.
This is wild.
So, like Hassog, where did he finish? He finished behind the McLaren of Young Gets, but he retired, so ahead of him, I think. Unless that's T. Darson. No, that's T. Darson. Gotcha. So, T. Darson's ahead of Lycasog, which is ahead of one AlphaTauri, I think.
I'm looking at the glitch Stevie the TV stream, and it's just got his tire flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait. This is the glitchiest lobby I've ever seen. Also, it says Will Ann's now off the track, as if he had a spin.
Yeah. And apparently the Ferrari and Stevie the TV is just stopped.
This is unbelievable.
This is just... It's wild. So we have that with no tire.
And he's got no rear tires either. They're gone. Look at that.
Oh.
They're just an axle.
For me, the tire just... Rear tires are still on. But... Well...
This race is going to time out. It still says Will Ann's is a lap down and not finished.
It'll either time out or do what happened in qualifying and or it just never ends.
Yeah, true.
Oh god, please end.
Oh wow, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, well, now I'm possibly good with last. Oh, never mind.
Finally. Well, thank you to everyone who joined us for that race. Good luck to the stewards sorting out whatever the heck you're going to do with that. We had a good time trying to make something of this. Apologies for how crazy it was, but that's not really down to us. We're just doing the best we can with what we've got here. This is the podium according to the game, but we know it's not 100% accurate because Will Ann's did indeed finish ahead of Haytide, I believe, and Terrible, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the order was T-Widow, T-Widow won, then Willie Ann's, then Terrible.
Rusty says he doesn't want to be a steward anymore. Yeah, I don't blame you, bro. So, this is the order of the game, but obviously not the real order, because we know Willie Ann's did not finish last.
So Willie Ann's did finish. Why is it saying he didn't?
It basically just says he times out.
Okay, so... Oh, this is gonna be hell. Alright.
I'm gonna go through the incident list so that that'll be recorded.
This is one interesting, this was one interesting race.
Alright, thank you for everyone who joined us. That'll be it for us. Shep and Vapor signing off.